You decide that you no longer want to be with this person, you can still have love for them and still want to let go. Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. Welcome back to Alfa Bella y Mística. Welcome guys. If this is your first time listening in, I am so glad that you guys are here. If you are one of my loyal listeners, I just want to let you know that I truly appreciate all the support and I love to have you guys back. I'm getting to know a lot of you guys, connecting with you guys. But today I've been dwelling over a certain topic for the past weeks, and it's not an easy topic. It's something a lot of people want to avoid. They don't want to have this conversation, right? But I think it's necessary. And I'm going to be talking about letting go of people, situations, hopes, dreams, illusions, but majority people. So recently, I've encountered the feeling of like grief. And I keep telling the people around me, like, I feel like I have a sense of grief. And they're like, well, you haven't really lost anyone. Like, you're in your immediate circle, you know. I still have a sense of grief. And I'm like, what am I feeling? Like, I need to let go of something. And like I said, many times it can be people, or it can be like a lifestyle. It could be a certain cycle. And for me, I think it's both, all sorts of grief. There's times in your life where you're like trying to evolve, trying to grow, and you are forced with the necessity to cut off people. That could be friends that are no longer aligned with you, or you just don't agree with their vision anymore. You guys don't align. The same for relationships. I've been around people lately that they are grieving losing a person, right? So I think there's three types of people that you have to let go of and you love them, right? The first one is death. Like I said, if you lose anyone, it's the cycle of life. Like, everybody's going to encounter death, and you are forced to like physically let go of someone. And it doesn't mean that the love that you have for them or the memories don't ever continue, because they do. But physically, they are no longer with us, right? Two, it's like a person that maybe it's gradual loss. Like, you're already preparing your mind to lose them. This could be like a person who's sick, or who's, you're already grieving even though that person is still physically there. Your emotions are still turning. You're preparing mentally to what it's like to feel the absence, right? That's a form of grief. And then lastly is the person that you have to walk away, even though they're alive. So because, like I said, friendships or a relationship that you have to walk away because they are not aligned in your path that you're in right now. And all three are very painful. And I think I'm not going to discredit each one of them. I just feel like the last one takes courage, to leave someone that you truly, truly love, because they're not in alignment. It's like when a person passes, you get that closure. Sometimes feel like, okay, you have a sense of like, okay, they're going to heaven. Okay, if you believe in another religion, okay, they're going to reincarnate. So you have that sense of like closure, right? Even though you still sit on those emotions, and it takes time to process those emotions that you have: sadness, isolation or confusion or anger, all those emotions, right? When you are in a relationship where your love is not enough, where you've tried, you've given everything, but you feel that need to like let go, it's out of love too. Um, Love and grief can go together. Like when you're someone important in your life passes, you have love, so much love, like you're like, I love you, like where's this love going to go? Not to a physical person, or to mix with grief, right? The same with this person. Like when you decide that you no longer want to be with this person, you can still have love for them and still want to let go. So what every all of these is like, when is the right time to let go? Like even when the person passes away, it's not when they're in their grave that you finally let go. For many, it's never in their lives. It's a continuous, like, you can't let go. Um there's someone in my circle that experienced, you know, losing a loved one, and it's like I wanted to understand them, their grief, their I wanted to understand like the pain that they were going through, and I couldn't, because I myself have not lost a loved one. And then me and this person, we went to the cemetery, and as soon as I got there, like I just started crying, like, and I started weeping really, really bad, and I couldn't understand like why this was happening. I'm like, maybe it's just my hormones, or maybe I just can't contain myself. And we just left. And then, 4 weeks later, that after this happens, God is telling me, like, spirit, I believe it came into my mind, like, read the passage of like Lazarus. And it's the passage, I don't know if you guys know a lot about the Bible, but basically Lazarus was his family, his friend. He was a very good friend to Jesus, and he was away. And during the time that Jesus was away, Lazarus got sick and he passed. So Lazarus had two sisters, Mary and Martha. And when they seen that Jesus was like coming back to town, they're like, look, you didn't come in time and he passed away. And they were like feeling sad and anger and desperate. And they're like, well, you could have been here and helped Jesus. And the Bible says that Jesus only cried 3 times throughout the whole book. And one of those times was when Lazarus passed. But the interesting thing is, Jesus knew he was going to rise him from the dead, right? So why did Jesus cry then if he knew that he was going to rise Lazarus from the dead? He cried for compassion of Martha and Mary. He felt compassion for her and for them, and that unconditional love like to others. And I may be dramatic, but like I'm like, oh, that's what it was. It was my love and compassion for someone else's pain and grief that made me cry, that I felt the pain that the other person was feeling. And I'm like, oh, it makes sense. And that unexplained crying. And of course, Jesus could have told Martha and Mary, like, y'all, I'm about to wake him up, stop crying, stop, like hope is coming for you. He wept with them. He had that compassion and love for them. And it's like, whoa. I am so grateful that God allows me to feel compassion for others, that God allows me to feel love, unconditional love for others. And sometimes, like, you don't need to experience some other, like the experience that somebody else went through in order for you to feel those emotions, in order for you to understand other people, right? And that was such an eye opener. The same with um I have a friend right now that very I have a friend now that is also going through grief, but because she had to let go of a person that didn't fulfill her, that this is not her person, and it took a lot of pain and trauma and experiences for her to realize that this man was not going to fulfill her. And she took that decision to walk away. It took a long time. It took a lot of time of being alone and thinking about what she was going to do to decide that she had to let go of this person. And she truly, truly loved this man. She loved, but having to make the decision of like ending it, the relationship right there. It didn't take death to break them apart. It was a decision that she made. And of course it's hard to let go. It's extremely hard. Like like death, I feel like we don't have control. It's like it happened. But when you are still grieving a person that is alive, it's very, very hard. It's very hard. And the same thing, like for her, I put myself in her shoes and I grieve. And I grieve for her. And like, I want to, there's like really nothing I can do to make her feel better other than like spiritually feel compassion for her and be like, feel her pain. And all of this, I'm like, why is this, topic keep coming up for me? Like letting go, learning when to let go. Sometimes, like, life just happens, God. And other times it's like God is giving you the decision to walk away. And both, like, you have love and letting go. There's two types, like, of having to let go, but you still love the person. For many cases, it's not like love, like where you have to let go. What about like people who have drug addict family members? Maybe they have a son who's a drug addict and they've tried everything they can. They put them in rehab, they had counseling, they had the love, support, and the person still chooses to go back to the same thing. You begin to grieve a person that is still alive, but at the same time, you have to learn to let go. You can love them, you can wish them the best, you can do everything, but holding on will destroy you. It will literally destroy your ability to function. I want to understand more. I want to read more. Spiritually, I want to understand like grief. Like for many Christians they believe like once you pass, it's you're going to heaven, right? Or you're going to wait judgment. I want to understand more of that because that's like, okay, I have peace that they are in heaven. But what about like don't get me wrong, I feel like there's more. Like they can connect to us and I know my guilt is eating me up because I grew up in a Catholic and Christian religion, but to me it's like to question more beyond death. I think grief changes a person, um, but we can either take, that darkness away and restart our lives and, you know, help be that person for someone else. Like, that's something they say that we're all gonna encounter at one point, like grieving someone. And I don't know why I was thinking about talking about this. I'm like God forbid, But I think many of us are grieving. For me, it's like I feel like if you're not spiritual, you might not care what I have to say, but I'm in that like death card, rebirth. The death card doesn't mean like you're literally gonna die. It means like some shit has to go down before there's a new rebirth to my new life. And it requires letting go. It requires letting go of people that don't align with your future self. Sometimes that means like toxic family members, toxic partners, toxic friendships, everything that is causing darkness and pain and suffering. You have to learn to let go. I'm not saying there's a time frame of how long it takes to grieve, or it should be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. But there is a time where you have to get out of that darkness. And I think it's important to show compassion for others. When I shared that part where I started weeping at the cemetery, it just shows compassion and oneness. I haven't talked to you guys a lot about oneness because not everybody understands the language, but oneness is like having, for me, oneness. I know we briefly talked about it with Freddie on the podcast. I don't know if you guys listened to that podcast, but we talked about oneness. Oneness is like we're all connected, very much connected. And for me, it's like you would put yourself in other people's shoes. You feel what they feel. You wish them good because you are good. Like very reciprocal, unconditional love. Like you treat others like if they were you. And that is part of that oneness. Like we're all very much connected, more than you guys realize that we are. I feel like a lot of people don't really acknowledge the fact that we are very connected. And those who have that awareness are very much more compassionate towards others. But anyways, I don't want to get a lot into that. So yeah, with the whole moral of this is like Jesus, he didn't discredit their pain. Martha and Mary's pain when Lazarus died. He didn't discredit having grief and all these emotions. He also felt their pain and allowed them to sit in that pain. But then after that comes hope. He resurrected Lazarus as like, yes, bad things are going to come. This is not the first time that you're going to lose a loved one. But better things are going to come. You have to have that hope, that life after death, whatever you believe in, if you believe in heaven and reincarnation and whatever, there's hope after an ending comes. If there's like, if you went through a hard breakup and you feel like, man, this is it, like I don't have a future, I'm just going to drown in my emotions and my pity, and trust me, there's hope after this. I think every ending, every single ending comes with a new beginning. I don't think it just ends there. It comes with a new beginning. Um, this is my encouragement, to, if any of you guys have lost someone, or if you're thinking about letting go of someone, it's not the end of the world. There will be better things for you guys in the future, and remember to love, regardless of everything. Have love and compassion. But anyways, guys, I hope this episode wasn't confusing or just out of tone. If it is, I might not post it. But anyways, guys, I will see you guys next week. Bye.